This next piece is entitled A Cold Drink on a Hot Day. Dawn came softly and gently released the night. Morning lay cool and still, waiting the warming sun. A squat, middle-aged woman stretched and yawned and rubbed the sleep from her eyes, then slowly, in scuffed sandals, shuffled the 100 dusty yards to the well, where water lay deep and cold and sweet. Back at her window, she broke her fast. Figs and fruit and an occasional sip from the jug, leaking crystal condensation onto her scarred, well-used table. She gave a prodigious yawn, luxuriating in the balm of the peace before the impending domestic storm. Washing, dusting, sweeping, old chores, but new every morning. She sat, dreaming, sleepy, time slipping away, while outside the sun rose higher and hotter. A sound disturbed her dozing somnolence, indistinct at first, and then voices, the growling sound of many voices. A shout, a jeer, the lethal crack of a cat on nine tails, and the most terrifying sound of all, the Legion. Regulated, rhythmic, marching feet, growing louder, coming nearer, approaching her door. Fully awake now, she peered out the window and down the sun-filled track. Dust and spears, a black horse flecked with white sweat, and a breast-plated rider with the golden eagle of Rome fluttering on a pennant above his head. Men and women, a few children, in the midst of them all, a bobbing, waving wooden cross, carried by the horrific semblance of a man, gouts of blood, streaked dust, rivulets of sweat. As she watched, he crumpled, and the weight of the cross crushed him face down into the dirt. And there he lay, exhausted, spent, helpless, like a worn-out fetter that the soul had broken and thrown away, but not quite, still alive. Once more the cat o' nine tails snarled and savagely bit into his lacerated back, and a voice, "On your feet, move, now!" By this time, the woman was out the door and kneeling before him, cradling his head, a pitcher held in her hand. "Take this and drink, water." Out of that disfigured, ruined face, he looked at her. She shivered in recognition. He was a total stranger, but she knew him, and he knew her. The whip snarled, and the command came again, "On your feet, start walking." He looked at her again, sipped the water, closed his eyes and shuddered. Once more he shouldered the cross and stumbled forward, lurching, weaving towards bloody Golgotha. Clutching the jug, she watched him go, his staggering figure growing smaller and smaller, and then vanishing altogether. When I finished this story, I looked in the Bible for confirmation that it had actually happened. I found none. What I had written was fiction. I brooded on this for a time, and then I remembered an occasion when another woman, a woman from Samaria, actually gave him a cup of cold water. He drank it and then said, "Anyone who drinks this water will soon become thirsty again. But those who drink the water that I will give will never be thirsty again. It becomes a fresh, bubbling spring within them, giving them eternal life." That spring still flows, and that promise still stands.